Hello, hello. How's everyone doing? It is Wednesday, and welcome to Live with Nana. Woo, child. Listen, we are fresh off of another call and jumping on here. Oh my gosh, but we made it. We made it. All right. So if you are joining, definitely pop up in the comments and say a hello. If you're catching this on the replay, drop a replay in the comments too. I'd love to know that. And if this is your first time being up in the building, my name is Nana Badu. I'm an image consultant and speaker, and I talk about all things related to style and confidence for women leaders in the workplace. And today we are talking about what's going on in your closet, in your career that are misaligned, okay? And the fact of the matter is, you cannot build a bold career in boring clothes. I mean, that's really the point blank and the period of it all, you know? So here's the situation. Yes, Portia, having another call at 8 a.m. and just running up the steps trying to get up here. But anyway, I made it. Better late than never. But the reality is that where you are in your career and where you are in your wardrobe aren't always the same, right? You might want to be in a different role, in a different industry, start your own business, right? There are so many folks not content with where they are in their job, okay? And the job market is wild right now. So there's so many reasons why you might want to shift. Not even might, that you do want to make a shift in your career. And listen here, you get one life, just one. And it makes no sense to sit in a job that's stank and stagnant. Stank and stagnant for 20, 30, 40 years. Okay? You want to find your path. You want to feel ignited. You want to take the risk. You want to go for the promotion. You want to do the thing you dream of. You write about it in your journal. Like, tap into all your talents and skills. You want it. Fear may try to get you in a chokehold, but you going, you know what I'm saying? Fear, bam, bam, back up. All right. You want that courage, that bravery, that boldness to come out with you. You want that for yourself, right? So you want that. And hopefully it's happening for you, or it's on its way. Like, you can clearly see milestones and moments where you are the one. You're getting flued out, okay? Getting flued out by clients, okay? Signing up for speaking engagements and conferences, like my good friend Portia, okay? Right? Or maybe you're at your firm and you got the promotion this year. You got it, baby, right? Like, things are happening. And these are bold moves. These are risky moves, okay? These are brave moves. These are things that you are doing in spite of the fear, in spite of the hurdles and challenges. You still continue to evolve because you're that girl. So why on this beautiful earth would you then make a decision to continue to fill your wardrobe, the place that you have to open up the doors, walk into, and get dressed every single morning, and have energy that is nowhere near connected to the bold career that you are creating? Make it make sense. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Right? So what happens? You open up your closet and we see it. We see that great go-to black suit, right? It's the one you've had. It was Ann Taylor, 2004. It's seen you through that first promotion. It's seen you through a dissertation, the PhD, the master's. It's seen you through some great good moments because it is professional, right? It's classic. It is professional. It is safe. It's predictable. And it's boring. Okay? You've got your classic black flat or black pointy toe or round toe pump to go with it. Okay, your black straight leg pants, black belt. Who am I running down right now? You're looking at your outfit like she done run me down. Okay. Now, you have a sea of these types of pieces in your wardrobe. Some things might even be a little ill-fitting. Some of the fabrics might be looking a little worn. Some of the colors ain't popping, right? The cuts are the same, and you feel it. You feel how you put them on, and it's just more of what is safe and predictable. And so the question you got to ask yourself is, how come my wardrobe is not evolving as my career is evolving? You know what I'm saying? How come my wardrobe is not evolving as my career is evolving? I'm changing. I'm growing. I'm positioning myself in thought leadership. I'm gaining visibility. Already know you got mad degrees, education and smarts on stack, right? And so I'm clearly director, VP, C-suite, not even material, just identity. Okay? Can we get a little deeper? All right? Like, this is who you are. So it takes a lot of courage and bravery to step out and achieve these things, right? And assert yourself in this way. So when the spotlight is on, I need you to do better. I need you to do better. All right? Because what I think often happens is that in I think there's a lesser, maybe there's also a fear tier too, but there becomes this moment where you think that it doesn't matter as much. Perhaps maybe you're in the it doesn't matter as much bucket, right? I just need to be professional. And you were like, I'm going to go with the status quo of professional, my black, my navy, my gray. Like, I am just going to keep it as such because I know that it works, right? Understand that your choices and your style communicate. And what that message communicates to me is that you're bold in other spaces, but still playing small in other spaces. So you still care a lot about making sure that you fit in and are following the rules like everyone has told you to. But you're really more afraid of what people will say if you say, you know what, I actually really love purple and I'd rather wear purple suits. Or, you know what, I don't even like suits. I'd rather just be wearing some great statement dresses when it's my time to shine. But you're afraid. You're afraid that people are going to judge you, are going to think less of you, that it's not what all of your white male counterparts are wearing. Let's just say what it is. So you're afraid, right? Understandable. You're not alone. So this fear blocks you. So you resort back to that same boring dress code. It's not helping you. It's not helping you because the energy that it's communicating doesn't match. You step on a stage, you come into a conference, people are hearing so much about you, your brilliance, your excellence, and then you show up in these khaki pants and a white shirt that's ill-fitting, outdated, and people are like, that's underwhelming, but she's brilliant in this other space, so I'm gonna lean in, right? But trust and believe Your audience, your clients, maybe even your potential employer, they are judging. They are getting impressions of you. And what you don't want to have happen is for people to be underwhelmed by your presence. You feel me? You can't be bold and brilliant in profession and underwhelming in presence. Whoa, that was good. Right? Yes. Listen, it's such an evolution, you know? And you see, Portia, bring up a really interesting point around seeing folks who are business owners or just anyone within their career and seeing the evolution of their style. And when you can tell, because you can tell when someone has begun to invest in their wardrobe, when they have begun to take it seriously, when they are more intentional about their choices, when they are shopping and making selections with pieces that align with them, like when they really dig in and they're doing it in totality, the clothing, the accessories, their hair, their makeup, their nails, their beauty, all of it. They do a full transformation because they realize I can't keep showing up in a space and it doesn't feel like me, right? It might be appropriate, but it ain't aligned. Whoop, we dropping them today, okay? It might be appropriate for the space. And I think this is also a common misnomer sometimes folks get into, right? Women leaders are like, well, I'm afraid that if I'm not appropriate for this in a space, then I'm going to miss out on the opportunity. Let's understand, you are going to be appropriate in the space when you make sure that your clothing is fitting well. Number one, that it's not too tight, it's not too low, it's not too short. The fit is right. Number one that people get wrong. Okay, not even people, women leaders particularly. All right, you get the fit right, you get the quality right. You begin to leave fast fashion to being maybe one or two, a few spots in your space, right? You're not running to H&M, you're not running to Zara for every piece, okay? If I called you out, this is what it is. You have upgraded from Rainbow, all right? You have upgraded from Rainbow. So you are going to begin to make some smarter investments and go for the better quality piece. You're going to get the Veronica Beard suit. Feel me? You're going to get it. All right? Maybe even if you've upgraded from Rainbow, like maybe you're going to Express and that's the quality level that you're at. All right? Or you're going to hit the Saks. All right? And you're going to get the designer shoes because that's where you are in life. Right? Like you're going to be more sophisticated and intentional about your pieces. Why? Because you're clear on your style. You know what your style is. You know the message that you want your style to communicate because it's always communicating. And right now for you, it is stuck in status quo, boring, straightforward, underwhelming zone. But that's not who you are. Right? Like that's not who you are. So you're misrepresenting yourself. But you think you're doing it in the space of being professional and appropriate, when really that's just blocking you from being bold, brilliant, brave, undeniable, confident. You know what I'm saying? So this is the scratch in the record. All right? This is the scratch point in the record because there is an invitation for you to understand the power your style has as a communication tool and as a career asset. And that when you look at women at your company, in your field, in the celebrity light, find your person who makes you go every time you see them making a move, you're like, she's on it. Find that person. and look at the evolution of their style. You know, Portia was commenting about Amani Ellis, who's the CEO of CultureCon, you know, and building that brand and that company. Sure, when she started out, you know, building that, it was all hands on deck, and she was probably showing up as her best self for what was aligned with where she was in her career then. But now she has built a massive global brand, and her presence and her style reflect the woman who has done such. Not near a thing is boring about CultureCon. So there's nothing that's going to be boring about how she shows up. Right? So find your person who's not just inspirational in terms of their style, but in terms of their presence. When they go to speak, when you see them on social, like, you know, they might be in your office, okay? When they are at the meeting, notice the way that they take up space. Notice the way that people respond to them. Notice the way that they lead, right? Take note and dive in. You might even be in a position, play your cards right, and jump out and be brave about approaching them and asking them and saying that I am in a space where I know I need to elevate my style because I really want to get into this VP partner C-suite level. And I see a lot in you that I find that's admirable. If you're open to share, I'd love to know what your style and image evolution has looked like. That's a way different conversation. Why? It's thoughtful, it's intentional, and it's extremely observant to understanding that to succeed and grow in your career requires more than putting your head down and just doing the work. That'll get you the salary, and that'll get you the money, and that'll get you a good, you know, a good evaluation, hopefully, knock on wood, up in this day and age. But it ain't going to get you the promotion. It's not going to get you the visibility that you want. It's not going to get you the kind of impact that you really know you've been put on this earth to deliver. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to get them stacks. It's not going to get them stacks like that. Okay? So know that it's communicating, know that this is happening, and know the message that you're sending when you are wearing clothing in these tried out, extremely muted, extremely traditional, and unmodern takes, outdated takes on color and fit that you're doing yourself. Say it all the time. You're doing yourself a huge disservice. All right. It's not reflective of who you are. So begin to embrace how you can shift from this space of feeling like, well, I need to be professional and appropriate. So that equates to safe and boring, right? There's something in your mind and your subconscious that connects the dots there. And we need to disrupt that. All right. So first thing that you can do to begin to disrupt this and begin to include more boldness, very simple, get some direction. Create that mood board for yourself. Pull up Pinterest, pull up Instagram. You can just save some images to your phone. Find images of the woman leader who you admire in her style and in her presence, and observe what is trending. Where is she shopping if she's dropping those indications? What do her fits look like? How's she accessorizing? Like what is part of her signature across her style that she consistently does? Observe it. Mark it down, save it so you have that as a source of inspiration so that you can begin to understand where you need to change and shift your habits. Second, check for where you're currently shopping and begin to, especially if you do a lot of fast fashion shopping. If you're on Shein all the time, if you are on Fashion Nova all the time, if it's H&M all day, if that's where you go to buy 80% of your clothing, if you want to come off and be bold and strong and as a leader, you got to shift that. You got to shift it. So start to make a course correct and save some of that money that you're investing in so much fast fashion and begin to make a better investment in a bolder piece. Find the dopest suit that you can invest in at the price point that feels comfortable for you and get it. It's going to be a stretch. It's going to be more than that $50 joint. You're going to double it. You're going to make it $100. All right. And you are going to invest in that dope fire suit. Okay. Find those pieces that are going to have you at your boldest self and make that investment and begin to move away from things that you are continuously doing that are keeping you in the safe zone and in the predictable zone with your clothing. All right. Invest in the bolder pieces. And of course, if you need support to make this transition, because you are realizing that your presence is extremely underwhelming when it needs to be unforgettable, right? Send me a DM and I will invite you to have a discovery call with me. I will learn more about what's happening with your style and more about what's happening in your career and where you want to go and how you really want to see yourself showing up. And then we will talk about some of the ways that I can support you, and we'll do a temperature check, because working with me, I want to work with you. And I want you to want to work with me and to be able to fully commit to the process and the experience, because it is an experience that will change your life. And so we want to make sure that that is aligned. Okay. All right. So if you're in a space where you would like to pursue that, definitely send me a DM and I'll send you some more details. All right. But for now, listen, get that mood board popping and assess where you're making those investments and start to think about the bolder pieces that you're going to put in your closet to elevate your situation. Okay. All right. All right, y'all. I will see you next Wednesday. Oh, please.